OCS championships have returned. Mimighoul is back in full action. Dinomorphia is not far behind, and we have the mechanical power of toys as well. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very, very happy to see Mimighoul in action out here from the OTS championships this past weekend. It definitely puts things in a pretty nice perspective out here. You can see decks actually kind of coming together and seeing these different ideas come to fruition as people are trying out different things. Now, with the Mimighoul stuff, you got to remember, I think most of your ratios, as much as we love 3-maker, and as much as we love, you know, the multiple rooms, you kind of got to cut some of these cards to make room for, well, other things to be able to play at a competitive level. And I will say, you know, I'm happy to see that Mimighoul has found a place in the meta out here. Just as, like, a good deck kind of able to control and do things. We're also not doing the Fire Sorcerer stuff. On like a more casual level, the Fire Sorcerer package is freaking hilarious. All right, the rip 2 from your opponent's hands, you know, cheesy. But if you're going for the maximum competitive side of things, you're going to want those Cashed Hero Fenrirs in here for the mid-range control options. Obviously, you're going to be playing Shifter anyway. You need to make sure that Shifter resolves. This card is stupid in this deck. All right, the free turn skip is going to be bonkers. I also do see we do have the Tack Thrust in here. This basically toggles you into any real sort of ability that you might need to kind of try to control your opponent, which typically ends up being a good, simple thing. I do see, hey, we've also got Evenly Matched in here for those full disruptive options as well. And a little bit more love down here. The Dimensional Fissure, and wow, we even got the Summoning Curses in here. You know, you're going to feel like a real baddie out here when you're slamming down the curse, ripping away your opponent's hand by just handing them all of these guys. Still, Cerberus is probably the worst one, which is really sad because, you know, but we'll wait and see what we get next set. The good stuff is coming. We have, I'm going to be honest with you. When I sold Dinomorphia, I took a step back and I was like, really? Like, this is what we're cooking up out here? Like, this is the contraption of sorts? Yeah, it does appear that way, actually. Once again, you have another deck that's playing Shifter. One thing that I haven't seen Dinomorphia decks do up until this point was we're actually playing Fenrir. So once again, you're seeing how good Fenrir is for tearing through these mid-range decks out here. And I got to give it credit where credit's due. You know, you want to make sure that as you're tearing through the competition, thank you, mid-range control, anything that might be a threat to you, Fenrir is going to be able to answer. Also, if not, it's a 2400 that you can navigate underneath the skill drain here and just have your opponent go, well, crap. You have 25 very good trap cards here, and of course, you've also got the trap tricks in here to facilitate extra copies of pretty much everything in the Dinomorphia family that you're going to need. Even pulling off stupid Ferret Flames plays out here. I like to see that. Other than that, your side deck has some very strong going second cards. It's actually going to be nice. I do see that this build is playing Evenly Matched down in the side. I've kind of noticed that Evenly does feel pretty broken at times when you're actually able to get this thing to resolve and tear through your opponents. Especially, you know, if you're going second against a powerhouse deck and you're like, we don't do that here. You just slam down the Evenly, tear up their field, and your opponent's just like, yeah, that's how that cookie crumbles. I also see, hey, we're doing the Ark Rebellion for the rank up off of the Raiders Night. Interesting choices. No Supreme King Zark Trap card in here. We all do love the ideas behind that, but yeah, this is just another day out here in Dinomorphia. Ooh, we have Fiendsmith Whitewoods for you here. Now, there are so many cool ways to play the White Forest package, all right? You've got the Centurion build, you've got the Runic build out here. This is actually, I think, one of the first times I've seen the Fiendsmith package being included into this, but this, once again, just kind of proves, you know, when your package is that versatile in order to, you know, mess around with the ideas that you can do. Okay. This is kind of interesting. I see that we are doing the Silo Hat trick in here. Well, this is one of the few times that this actually comes up because you do have one extra illusion monster in here. So, you know, if you're going into the top hat here and you have the Diabell in here, well, this ends up being, what is it, a dual-sided negate. So, you know, you're getting a little bit more value out of this than, say, the Azaroon, which is kind of cute, actually. I gotta give him credit for that. You never really think about the opening up of the doors and the ideas that you can do because of, oh, hey, you know, I have an extra illusion monster that is probably going to be part of my end board. So now, you know, we're getting that extra negations, and we're good. Also, your toy box package here with the 2 soldier, the 1 tank, this is extremely normal. This is by far pretty standard. I don't foresee this changing literally anytime soon. Oh, hey, we've also got the Mana DM reframing. Yes, you are going to play this. This is searchable off of the Vices piece down here. Alright, Armitara actually does get you into this, and having that big, powerful block on your opponent is going to feel so extremely good. You need cards like this, or else you just go into some of the worst downward spirals that you can actually have. So, that's White Forest with the Fiendsmith package. You know why you're playing this package. It's to make Dice Array. It's so stupid when it actually works, but you know what? That's the cost of what you need to actually have. Okay. Ooh, Memento Mori. So, first of all, somebody's actually playing one of the traps in the main deck. You know how many builds we've featured on this channel that we've just bounced back and forth? We're like, you know, today so-and-so doesn't want to play, you know, a trap in the main deck. Now, this time we're actually playing the Cranium Burst in the main deck, which is actually pretty good. But we're also citing the Fracture Dance down here as well. And actually, instead of playing the Azaroon, they're once again opting for the Trick. I don't know if I agree with that. In a build like this, I feel like the Azaroon is going to be infinitely better because you're only getting 1 negate on the rabbit, or with the rabbit. I guess that's not true. Creation King does give you the other illusion monster, but the thing is, most of the time, I don't feel like is this really going to stick around at the point that, you know, you're deploying the Trick to negate things? I guess it's subjective. I'm not like the greatest Memento expert out here, but I guess Trick, I don't know, I still feel like I'd want Azaroon more in this deck, but I guess it comes down to, you know, your end boards and what you're expecting. I also do see, because Shifter is an annoyance, we are playing just 2 copies of Grass Out, but, you know, we've also got the Called By in here, too. So, you know, if we do see the Called By, you know, you've got more multi-purposing options with this, too. Being able to specifically jam something that your opponent's trying to do, or like a mini combo piece during the passive turn, I think this does get you places. And of course, the real trend of the format, hit that evenly match against your opponent and watch them go, well, I love this game. And it's going to be a lot of the cases out here, honestly. You're going to watch a lot of high rolls crumble down, and it's going to be a little bit disappointing, but there's not going to be a lot that your opponent, I think, is going to be able to do. Outside of that, yeah, the rest of this, I feel like, is pretty standard. In terms of the Memento strategy. Not a lot of craziness that you really get out here, but it's good enough. Ooh, we have Centurion. Now, there is a lot of interesting things down here. No Material actually seeing some play. That's a new one. I haven't seen that in a while. We also have the Gravekeeper's Inscription down here. The fact that this deck was able to make its way to 3rd place, I think, is pretty cute. We also have the Apophis, the Swamp Deity, in here. I still feel like Azaroon. In this build, at least. Azaroon would probably be better over the Apophis. But, you know, it depends on, I guess, on what people are trying to do here. It is a level 6 to bounce off with to do a power play. So, I guess that can really matter somewhat. Outside of that, your Centurion numbers are fine, 1-1-1 across the board. You are actually doing the bonfires in here. I think bonfires are a lot more important in this deck than people, you know, give it credit for. You're also not doing the Horus package in here, which I do like the Horus package a lot. Putting those 8s on the field, if not, you know, you can have the Horus cards be passive for you, is pretty important. And of course, guess what? We got a nice little Calamity Lock in here, so you can do everything that you want to do. Yeah. Also, Packbit. Packbit's been a little bit off the wall. I've seen some people actually talking about this, but it's not like that this is a fairly... It's common, sure, but it hasn't seen as much play fairly recently with this deck. So, what do you guys think about your OTS Championship deck list out here? A lot of cool things, to say the least. So please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'm wondering what else we will see as we wait for, well, the dawn of our ban list. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.